Hello, and welcome to MoviePod, a Reclaimed Cinema podcast. I'm your host, Brian Wishart. If you enjoy the show, please rate, review, and subscribe. That'll help me out a lot. This week, we're talking about the James Bond film Tomorrow Never Dies from 1997. This is a film that got pretty positive reviews when it came out, but actually, over time, like the villain of the movie and his using technology to control the media to affect world events has become kind of very, very relevant to the wars in the wars of this century and the culture of the century. This week, I am joined by Matt Fresh. He is my editor at GG Tribune, and he's also the host of the Stay and Watch podcast. How's it going, Matt?
Hello. It is swell.
Yeah. So we're doing this in preparation for the 007 game First Light that's coming out the day this episode comes out. So you were doing a full watch of the James Bond series.
Yes, I thought it's been about a year or two since I have done my last rewatch of the series, and I thought, what better time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, James Bond's my favorite franchise, so I go through these movies a lot. And Tomorrow Never Dies was actually the first DVD I ever owned, so that's 1,300 DVDs ago, but it is a movie that I was watching a ton as a kid. Rewatched it a lot, especially James Bond, my favorite franchise. I always do franchise rewatches a fair amount. What are your overall thoughts on Pierce Brosnan as the James Bond?
I like him, and look, I understand that they say that the Bond you grew up with is your favorite Bond.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a unique position in that when I grew up, I started watching Bond in between Die Another Day and Casino Royale when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So Pierce Brosnan was the first Bond I had ever seen. I think Die Another Day is maybe the first movie I ever saw that wasn't strictly for children.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first adult movie I saw, and I was like, this is incredible.
It's wild. That's an insane movie.
And so, James Bond is also my favorite movie franchise. It's the reason I love movies. I used to run around as a kid pretending I was James Bond. But the first ones I saw were the Pierce Brosnan movies. But then Daniel Craig was James Bond when I was also a kid. So technically they're both my childhood James Bond. Mm-hmm. But I just have a certain attachment to Pierce Brosnan. I think when you think of all the qualities of James Bond, I think of Pierce Brosnan.
Mm-hmm.
When you say picture James Bond, he's the guy you picture. Mm-hmm. He's the default Bond.
Mm-hmm. And at least for me, I grew up, when the Nintendo 64 was huge and GoldenEye, the video game, was massive. And that was one that me and my friends were playing nonstop, playing the multiplayer of that game. And of course, that is based on the movie GoldenEye, the first Pierce Brosnan movie. So that is one that, even the video game nature, the video games of James Bond is kind of baked into my nostalgia of this specific era.
Yeah, Everything or Nothing was my game.
Yeah, right? That one I only played through the one time, but the ones I played a lot of were GoldenEye, of course, and I played a surprising amount of The World Is Not Enough for Nintendo 64, which is a pretty janky game, but the graphics were pretty good for the time, and the multiplayer was fun enough.
I spent a lot of time alone in my room playing bots in Nightfire because I had no friends to come over and play with me. So I would just turn on bots and play Nightfire.
Agent Under Fire was also a really fun one too. I love the watch the grapple in that game. So you got all those Spider-Man things in the multiplayer. That was really fun.
What I like about those games is they have these moments in the single player where if you pull off a Bond move, is what they call it, you pull off something James Bond would do, and the 007 just appears on screen and the song plays for 5 seconds.
It's so cool because that's what the movies all have. They all have the classic James Bond theme plays whenever something interesting happens. And the music in these movies are the James Bond theme's classic, and the fact that they just got that right out of the gate with Dr. No, got the music right the first time, and it's just still the music that they play to this day is really impressive.
I think the coolest thing I've ever seen in a movie is James Bond drift in a tank while his own theme song plays.
Yeah. Yeah, Goldeneye, like that was like an incredible sequence. It's so cool. And yeah, so Tomorrow Never Dies is a movie. This is the one that follows Goldeneye. So Goldeneye had an interesting history because before Pierce Brosnan was James Bond, it was Timothy Dalton, and he just had the 2 movies. We signed up for a third, but due to legal issues with the company, the third James Bond movie got stalled for so long. Like Timothy Dalton was supposed to do Goldeneye, and then he just like, you know what, like this is taking too long, so I quit. And there's like I think it was a 7-year gap between James Bond movies, between License to Kill and Goldeneye, and then that's when they get Pierce Brosnan in. But
Goldeneye was 94 or 95?
95, I believe.
95, yeah. 6
or 7 years.
6 years, yeah.
Yeah. And I really like License to Kill. I think it's a really it's a gritty one. It's probably the most violent James Bond movie.
Dalton had 2 good ones.
I love the Dalton ones. I think Dalton's
yeah.
I think I would have loved for Dalton to have like a 5-movie run. He's the biggest what if James Bond actor for me.
I think it because he left, and then Pierce Brosnan was supposed to be Bond for Living Daylights.
Yeah, and he got fucked because they wanted him for Living Daylights, and he was about to sign it because he was on a TV show called Remington Steele,
which got canceled.
Then they brought it back because they want our lead actor to play James Bond, so this guy must be pretty big. So they brought the show back and forced Pierce Brosnan to be in the show again.
Yeah.
And then it's I can't do James Bond now because I'm stuck with this TV show I don't want to be on.
What's crazy, this is the second time that a Bond actor had to wait because they were on a TV show. Because they wanted Roger Moore for On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Yeah. And he was on The Saint and couldn't do it.
Yeah. I'm fascinated to see if they do that again for the new James Bond actor. Maybe they'll get Jacob Elordi, and then it's you know what, Euphoria season 4, it's definitely going to happen. Fuck you, Jacob.
If they get him, I hope that happens.
That'd be so funny. I hope Euphoria season 3 has been really, really bad, but I kind of hope it's one of those shows that they just keep that, because the cast is that cast really popped off. I hope they just keep forcing the cast to come back every few years, so do even more stupid shit, because that show just devolved into something that it's more of a crime drama than it is anything else. It's so bizarre, but it's yeah, because it's always interesting whenever there's talks about them casting a new James Bond, because there's always people's own management is there's really considering this actor, and there's also it's funny because I always because the James Bond franchise it's owned by the Broccoli family, and this is the last not anymore, but this is the first Tomorrow Never Dies, the first James Bond movie that was made after Covey Broccoli, the head honcho of the franchise, he passed away, so the first one made without him. And when it came to the casting, it was they're just okay with absolutely any kind of actor, but there's always this myth that James Bond has to be British, he has to be English, but he's never really always been English. They have Lazenby as an Australian, they have an Irish guy, they have a Welsh guy, but what's funny is with Octopussy, they literally almost cast James Brolin. They screen tested him and everything, and then Roger Moore is I may be ancient as fuck, but I'm coming back for Octopussy for the paycheck.
I do wonder if people, and I'm assuming soon talk about this movie, I do wonder if people will look back more fondly on Roger Moore's era if he had stopped at For Your Eyes Only.
I think so. I think that's a great stopping point, because Octopussy and A View to a Kill have their moments, but he's clearly too old for the role. There's points in A View to a Kill where he's just he looks like such an old man.
I think that movie, if you swap him for Dalton, that's a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just rewatched that movie last week, and Christopher Walken's a really fun villain.
Yeah.
Grace Jones has great screen presence.
Yeah, I mean, Octopussy, there's no saving, but you swap in Dalton in A View to a Kill, that's a classic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think he can fit in that movie pretty well too. I think it's an easy fit, I think, for him as a Bond. it's not like I don't think Roger Moore could have really done a like. I'm a huge defender of Honor Majesty's Secret Service. I think it's my second favorite James Bond movie behind Goldfinger. I actually did it earlier. Did that last year on this podcast, and I think that Sean Connery would struggle with that movie because I think that movie needs a bit more sensitivity than Sean Connery could provide. I don't think Roger Moore could do it too because he's too winky of a James Bond. But I think Dalton you could easily put into like A View to Kill and have it work. And like I think that Dalton, like Pierce Brosnan, is a pretty logical continuation to Timothy Dalton. I think that Dalton could have done these movies too, but like what I love about Pierce Brosnan as a James Bond is like he is the coldest James Bond. Like he is like the least outwardly emotional, like he is, but he's still haunted. Like all the James Bonds are like haunted by like the dead wife, and they often make. I know in GoldenEye they definitely make reference to the dead wife. In this one they don't really do that, but like they have the kind of thing where you kind of feel sad about Terry Hatcher dying, sort of. But like, but yeah, he is like someone who's like almost like he is just almost robotic, but he's robotic and cool. He's a really cool James Bond.
He also is still funny.
He's hilarious.
Right? Like he still hits those quips but you also still believe that, yeah, no, this guy's a killing machine. Mm-hmm. Right? He doesn't care. Like this guy is a ruthless assassin, and he'll still hit those quips, and you'll be like, hell yeah.
Yeah. Like Pierce Brosnan has the highest kill count of all the James Bond actors. Like
oh yeah, he's spraying and praying.
I think Dino Day definitely has the highest kill count. In that opening alone, he kills like half of North Korea.
Oh my God, after I watched that the other day, I was scrolling Letterboxd, and, people don't like that movie. And, I'm not going to defend that movie, but I think it's better than people give it credit. The first half of that movie is genuinely very good. But I'm scrolling through this Letterboxd reviews of people who hate this movie, and one guy gave it no stars and spent, I think, about 10 paragraphs defending North Korea. Just going, North Korea would never do this.
North Korea would never get one of their generals to turn himself into a white man and develop a diamond-based laser to destroy the demilitarized zone.
Yeah, right. I mean, no country would do that, but like this was like North Korea would never do this. And then he goes on a geopolitical rant about why North Korea is not that bad, actually. I'm like, what are we doing here?
That's
this
hilarious.
This is a movie about a space laser. You're defending North Korea.
Like with James Bond, because I grew up these movies, like these are like kind of how I learned about how, like, geography of the world. Like probably my first experience of watching a movie that take place in Vietnam was this movie.
I think James Bond is how I first heard about the Cold War.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like pretty much most things I know about the Cold War I get from
James Bond. James Bond and Call of Duty Black Ops. This is how I learned about the Cold War.
Everything I learned about the Cold War and sex and cars, I learned from James Bond.
Oh my God, that Aston Martin, the DB5, still my favorite car.
It's so good. They kind of they keep bringing it back a bit too much, especially in the Craig movies. But like, it's a great car. It's a great car.
I also, you know what? I love the Vanquish. I love I don't care that it went invisible. That's a slick car.
Yeah, that is a fun gag when John Cleese first like brings the car into the station there. He's like, "Here's a new vehicle," and he's like, "You have to be joking." But like, yeah, Diner Day, like that one got too heavy with the CGI, and like because Diner Day got too insane, that's why Casino Royale they really dialed it back to basics James Bond movie. It's kind of like a bit more gadget free, and Tomorrow Never Dies is a couple movies before that. World's Not Enough takes place between Tomorrow Never Dies and Diner Day, but like, yeah, this is still like it's. I feel like this is one of the most. When I can think about like the quintessential James Bond movie, I always think it's either like this or Thunderball, which are just like it has the girls, has the gadgets, has the cars, has the geopolitical intrigue, has the stunts, and this one, I guess we can just get into the movie itself because of course it's a James Bond movie, so it has like the great gun barrel opening sequence there and a opening cold open sequence before the main theme that this one's actually relevant to the rest of the plot. Sometimes the James Bond movies don't really do that. I
think all the Brosnan ones were relevant.
All of them do, yeah. And I think all the Brosnan openings are great in their own ways.
I think he has the best cold opens.
Yeah, the GoldenEye cold open is so fucking good.
It's incredible, but I think this cold open stands up to it. Mm-hmm. Like genuinely, I think this is as good of a cold open. It's still it's almost the same because it's still kind of a plane stunt, but it's really good. The way he's spying on this terrorist deal, and you don't see him at all.
Yeah, I love how they open up. It was like a how do they describe it? It's
it's a terrorist bazaar.
Terrorist arms bazaar somewhere near the Russian border.
Incredible.
When I think bazaar, I think like, a place where you can like, you buy some like rugs and stuff, like a Tweety bird smoking a joint, like a sweater, or like Pokemon cards.
They're haggling over the nuclear warhead.
Yeah. And with this opening, like, so like, we see like a surveillance camera and like, but we also cut back to like a command center where like Judi Dench, who's playing M, is talking with like an American general, a Russian general, trying to just like, all right, we're going to destroy this base and then we're going to move on out. But they keep getting a message back from whatever agents there surveilling it. And it's like, you got to look over what's going on over here. But they launch a missile towards.
Yeah, because they're like, all I see is a Jeep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all I see is a Jeep. But like they do some they identify a couple of the terrorists there, including what's his name, Gupta, who's played by Ricky Jay, the magician.
Yep.
And
narrator of Magnolia.
I love Magnolia so much. And all right, I was going to take out all these terrorists and all these arms at once. And then they realize like, oh shit, what our agent is showing us is that there's actually like 2 nuclear missiles on a jet at this base there, so it's caused a complete nuclear disaster if like these missiles attack. And they try to abort the missiles, but they can't because
it's too late.
They're too far away.
Late. It's out of range, and then Pierce just runs into frame.
Oh no! What he does the best thing, like where you just see one of the terrorists just smoking a cigarette, ready to light a cigarette, and then like you see like someone else offer him a lighter, and you just get punched out. It's Pierce Brosnan. Oh, filthy habit!
He offers him a lighter, and he goes to take it, and then he opens his hands. Oh, no lighter, and he punches him in the face. It's
so good, and also like it's funny because like he said, he makes a crack filthy habit, but he smokes in the other movies. Like he's not like against smoking, but he has to make this joke, and also like probably this like there's like Chechnyan Serbian terrorists or something like that. Probably doesn't speak English, and like he's just making all these jokes for his own amusement.
It's like I said, all of Brosnan's cold opens are great because they all have the way each of them introduce him. He's just this, he's a ruthless killer, but he's just a silly guy.
Yeah. Well, like the very first time we see Pierce Brosnan as James Bond is in GoldenEye after the
he's hanging in the dam. He's hanging in the bathroom.
He's like Batman. He goes into like upside down into the toilet as like a Soviet's like taking the shit with a newspaper.
Yeah. World is not enough. He's pretending to be a banker. Mm-hmm. In Die Another Day, he pretends to be that diamonds dealer, and he holds him at gunpoint, takes his glasses, and smiles at him.
Yeah, it's
just a cheeky guy.
He's a cheeky guy.
He's a cheeky, ruthless killer.
Yeah, and then like after he punches the one guy out there, he like starts like blasting away at all these people with guns. Like great firefight. This sequence is expensive and it looks awesome.
Yeah, and he's chucking grenades.
Yeah, and then like you keep cutting back to the missile back and forth, and like and like someone asks like M like, what is he doing? His job. and then like he eventually is able to get himself into the jet with the nuclear missiles there. And
there's a guy in the back.
Yeah, he punches that guy out, and then like he's able to take off before the missiles hit the bazaar. It's just funny. It's a bazaar, and and then he's able to take off, and like we get to hear the cool James Bond sequence. He makes a quip of like, you hear the cool James Bond theme, and you think he's going to get away, and then the guy in the back wakes up, and starts strangling him.
Yeah, another plane is shooting at him.
Yeah, it's so cool.
One of the terrorists got in the plane and started chasing him. So he's being choked out by the goose or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's being choked up by the wingman, and he's steering the plane with his legs.
Yeah, and then he's able to like get like beneath the other plane, and then use the ejector seat to eject the guy behind him into the other plane, blowing that up.
Incredible!
It's so cool. It's so awesome. And then he's like, "Hey, where's the general want his bombs?" And then we get to the theme song, "Tomorrow Never Dies," sung by Sheryl Crow. This is like a mid-tier Bond song, maybe a lower-tier song. I don't really care for this one that much.
I don't mind it. It's no GoldenEye.
GoldenEye's a banger. That
GoldenEye's a banger. I think The World's Not Enough is a sleeper. I think that's a good one. Mm-hmm. Garbage did a good job with that one.
Yeah.
I think.
To the point that Sam Smith plagiarized it for his shitty Spectre song.
Oh, I'm still mad they didn't do the Radiohead song, but
the Radiohead song they had was so good. It was
so much better. But you know what? That movie didn't deserve that song.
Yeah, I like parts of Spectre, but that movie falls off in the back half, especially when they do all the stuff with like Blofeld being his like, surrogate.
It was me all along.
It's so silly. But yeah, what's cool about what I kind of love about like this specific era of movies, like this and The Matrix, they're both movies that are about like the internet age, but like it's before like Web 2.0. It's before like this technology was absolutely everywhere. And like in this opening title sequence, like you see like a lot of like, of course it's like silhouettes of like babes and stuff, but like they're made of circuitry. We also get a lot of like 4x3 monitors going around. They're supposed to be like so like cool and sleek and like there's so of its time. That's why I love what James Bond movies are always of their time.
Yep. I just watched Casino Royale today and you it is so obvious that this movie came out when Bourne was popular.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Quantum of Solace is clearly the one that's more influenced by Bourne than anything else. Quantum of Solace might be that or Diamonds Are Forever are my least favorite James Bond movies. What bothers me with Quantum of Solace is that it feels almost ashamed to be a James Bond movie.
There are parts of it, yeah.
It's also like the writer's strike fucked it over too, so it was like written haphazardly. They were awful.
They were writing that as they were filming, which, frankly, to me at least, it's a miracle that came out as well as it did under those circumstances.
Could have been worse. I think all the Craig ones have really good cold opens as well.
Yeah, that's a good cold open. I think the opera scene in that one is aces, though.
That's really good, yeah. And then after that, like, there's nothing really good in that movie. But like, like Tomorrow Never Dies, like has like great parts throughout the whole thing. So the first after the opening title, we get to see a boat called the Devonshire. It's like a British ship, and like they're sailing around the South China Sea River, and some Chinese MiGs are like going over them, and like, hey, like we're supposed to be in the right spot, but we also realize that the villain of the movie, Elliot Carver, played by Jonathan Pryce, he's kind of monitoring this whole situation, and like he's been like, so clearly the British are in the wrong spot than they think they are, and because they're technically in Chinese international waters, they're not. They think they're in international waters, but they're actually in Chinese waters, so they kind of so like things are flying by, and then they
China's like get out. China's like get out, and the captain's like, tell them we're in international waters. We're allowed to be here.
Mm-hmm. And so like Carver, he has this stealth ship, and he has this like kind of a sea drill. It's kind of like it's a sea drill torpedo thing. So it's almost like what's the best way to describe it? It almost looks like the worst way to shave your face.
It looks like a giant. If you've ever had a razor, an electric razor, and opened the things up to clean them, it looks like that. But if it was all blades,
yeah. So he uses that to like burst into the ship there and sink the Devonshire. And one of the guys on the ship is played by Gerard Butler in his first film role.
Is it really?
Yeah, he's in there.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's like, hey, that's that guy. And so like that ship goes down. All the people are trying to get out of it, and the henchman Stamper. He is like just like a big. He looks like almost like a Dolph Lundgren in Rocky IV. He's just a big.
He's Hitler's dream.
He is like he's very Aryan. He has the worst fits. He has really ugly shirts with this whole movie.
Just a big, square-jawed, blonde guy with a buzzed. I don't want to call it a flat. It's almost a flat top.
Yeah,
and his shirts are always 2 sizes too small.
Yeah, and the stealth boat. They kind of like see all kinds of survivors wearing like life jackets, and Stamper just like guns them all down with guns that are full of Chinese ammunition.
Yeah, and Jonathan Pryce is like, give me a proper count of the survivors, because this is all going on that he's orchestrated. He's typing up his headlines for tomorrow.
Yeah, so like he's supposed to be almost like a Rupert Murdoch kind of guy who's like trying to like sell like create wars to sell newspapers. Apparently, he's not really the writer of this movie said he's more based on Robert Maxwell, who is the guy who like owned like all like the like Daily Mirror and stuff, Daily Express, like a bunch of British papers. But like this movie is really about like pretty much any yellow journalist. Who,
well, he's Jeff Bezos now.
Yeah, exactly. And like what's cool about this movie is like people really look back at this movie like, oh yeah, like people like this movie came in 1997, but like in the 2000s with the Iraq War and now with Iran War, there's clear examples of newspapers manufacturing consent to get America and get other countries to engage in military conflict. And that wasn't really a thing in the 90s, but this movie is kind of like, oh yeah, this is so relevant because this has happened in the past and it's happened since then.
And it's going to keep happening. Yeah. I think the Brosnan movies did a really good job of the Cold War was over. So you couldn't have, who is Bond up against now? Who are the enemies in a geopolitical landscape without a Cold War? And the answer is rogue agents and billionaires.
Yeah. And like at one point the initial plan for this movie is going to be about the transfer of Hong Kong to China and the sovereignty there. And that's probably where they kept especially the stuff with Michelle Yeoh in the movie. But like, yeah, I think this movie, especially the journalism angle, is really, really fascinating. And so yeah, so like Carver, like he's like typing up the headlines for like how this like British ship went down, it's like shot down by the Chinese and everything. And here's like the survivor count or lack of. And what gets so the British Ministry of Defense is all like pissed off, like what the fuck is going on here? And like, all right, China like kind of demands like and so like as the investigation goes on, like M is given like an MI6 are given like 48 hours to investigate why the ship sank to avoid World War III from happening.
Yep, that's a lot of time to stop World War III.
Yeah, and the reason why they get the hint that it could be Carver is that his newspaper company, whatever it's called, is that they were able to publish the news articles about the crisis hours before MI6 became aware of it, which seems like a kind of a big mistake.
Yeah, but
at the same time,
you got to get those ratings.
At the same time, like nowadays, like especially the internet age with social media, is that like we got the news of the Bin Laden got assassinated from Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
John Cena. John Cena was the first person to announce this.
Was it John Cena?
It was John Cena. He said this to the crowd after a pay-per-view ended.
Oh my god. I know that The Rock had the tweet there, but like that's hilarious.
I think the Rock might have been the first one who tweeted about it, but John Cena was the first one who publicly announced it. I think pay-per-view had ended by that point, so I don't think it was televised when he said this, but he said it to the live crowd and they filmed him saying it. So there's the clip of him going, "I would just like to announce that Osama bin Laden has been compromised to a permanent end."
So this stuff leaks out all the time. So like, wouldn't it be that shocking now for them to have the upper hand over British intelligence? But like back then, like Carver fucked up hardcore by
back then that's a fuck up. Today that's like, oh, that makes sense. Of course. Right? You hear all the time stories these days. Yeah, I found out I was laid off from the news article.
Yeah, like having all the Destiny employees with Destiny 2 shutting down. Like it's bad, and like the media landscape is not much better. Like we live in Elliot Carver's world right now. Like,
yeah, I'm pretty sure the president gets all of his information from Fox News.
Yeah, like he doesn't really get it from like his own like intelligence services. He gets it from his friends on TV.
I think even his intelligence services at this point get it from their friends on TV.
Yeah. Yeah, this movie is like really ahead of its time.
It has aged immaculately, right? Because again, Carver had since this movie came out, you can say he's been about 3 different guys. Right? He was Rupert Murdoch, Now he's Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, and like, yeah, it's just like all these scummy news guys, and of course he's really into technology too, and you know, being ahead of the game a lot. And there's stuff like him like getting special satellites and such, and you know, these technocrats who are influencing the media and thus influencing politics. Like that is very much the hellscape we live in today.
Yep.
And so Carver has like some big event he's planning to announce, like the expansion of like his news empire, and so it's in Hamburg.
His news empire. What was it? CG something N.
CMGN.
CMGN.
Yeah, and so he goes to Hamburg there, and the reason why they picked Bond to do it is because Bond has had a previous relationship with Paris Carver, played by Teri Hatcher, who is Carver's wife and an ex-girlfriend of James Bond, played by Teri Hatcher, who is not very good in this movie.
She's serviceable.
She's fine. So apparently, she was right after she was cast in this role. She was found out she was pregnant, so they had to film all her scenes really, really fast. But because they're also rushing this movie to production too, after GoldenEye came out, this movie came out just 2 years after GoldenEye, so like this really fast turnaround. So like I wonder how much of like her character was kind of just like, all right, we gotta get her out of the way fast, because we don't have her that much longer, because you can't really have like, you know, a pregnant actress be a Bond girl.
I do wonder if there's a version of this movie in an alternate universe where she's the main Bond girl, and there's less Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah. Do you know that they almost got Monica Bellucci to play Pierce Carver in this movie?
Ooh, I did not know this.
Yeah, and like Pierce Brosnan's like, it should have been her, and like, but Monica Bellucci comes back for us Spectre, and she's, you know, good for the small role in that. But I think she would have been pretty. I think she would. Of course, she's a better actress. I think she would have actually done the emotional bit well, so you can kind of believe, you know, the relationship a little bit more. It's funny, like, so like at this news event there, so like, you know, of course, James Bond, being the worst agent ever, introduced himself like, you know, I'm Bond, James Bond, to everyone he sees there. He claims to be a financial reporter or something, and he talks to Paris, you know, there, and Paris has like a comment to him like, James, do you still sleep with a gun under your pillow? And
of course they're spying. Of course, Ricky Jay is listening in.
Mm-hmm. So like, you know, they know what he's up to, and like they're able to find out pretty fast. Like this James Bond.
They check his employment history at the bank, and the MI6 has given him a perfect employment record, which immediately tips them off of like, well, what does that mean? Oh, it means he's a government agent, for sure, 100%.
Like they should just say like, I don't know, like this James Bond guy, he fucked the janitor one time. Like they could just have something in there too. Like he got
give him some George Costanza moment.
Was I not supposed to do that? Was that wrong?
Yeah, was because I got to plead ignorance on this. Because at the last place I worked, they used to do that all the time.
A George Costanza James Bond would be an incredible premise. Like people keep like, oh, why don't we get like, you know, like Josh O'Connor, Jacob Elordi, Callum Turner, all these like young like British, you know, like handsome hunky men. Why not get like, you know, a Paul Walter Hauser to play a George Costanza James Bond?
Just you know, no one would suspect him.
Mm-hmm. He would be a true secret agent because like James Bond is the most obvious secret agent there's ever been. He's too handsome. He always announces himself as a secret agent.
My name is Bond, James Bond. His cover name is just like, they give him these fake identities, but he keeps his real name that you can just search up his government file.
Yeah. And like it's so funny because like the fact that he always uses his real name, there's I hate the fan theory on like, oh, James Bond's a code name, like, you know, and that's why they recast the different actors, just different people assuming the James Bond name. Like, no, he's just a really shitty spy.
In Die Another Day, when he meets Halle Berry, she goes, my friends call me Jinx. And he replies, like, without hesitation, my friends call me James Bond.
Like, the worst spy. Like, at least, also at this event, too, is we get to see Michelle Yeoh. She's playing, her character name is...
Llewelyn.
Llewelyn. I think she at least uses a fake name as a better cover. Like, they don't immediately assume that she's a spy.
Yeah, she shows up and she's like, I'm a reporter, and because she's Michelle Yeoh, you know, immediately upstages James Bond. They're like, we don't want to talk to you anymore.
Mm-hmm. And Stamper, his men, kidnap, take James Bond, like, put him in like a soundproof room. It's almost like a recording studio. There's like a big cello in the background.
Oh, I love a good background gag where you're watching someone totally oblivious to what's going on right behind them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like a soundproof, but James Bond's like, he gets the upper hand, starts beating up the guy, or like trying to torture him, and then throws, like, a guy gets thrown through the window.
Yeah. You just very briefly, the way it's shot, he starts beating them up, and then it cuts to the guy on the other side of the window, and you just see him beating the guys up in the background through the window, and the guy's just sitting there, doesn't know what's going on, and then through the window the guy goes.
Yeah. So then James Bond's able to just, like, scamper around and, like, get a little bit, and Carver's just about to announce that his big satellite network is about to launch and everything, and James Bond just shuts off the power.
Oh yeah, he becomes all the other news networks report on him as like a laughing stock.
He like fires like his assistant right away for not being able to get the power on. Like Carver's like losing his goddamn mind. Jonathan Pryce is incredible in this movie. He's a great villain.
Oh, he's so good. He's hamming it up.
Mm. They asked Anthony Hopkins to play this role, and I think that he would have been good, but I think Jonathan
would have
Pryce
been as good.
Yeah, but like the fact that they got the two popes from the movie The Two Popes to be considered for this role, like
they got one of the popes.
They got one of them, and but also so like after that, like Bond and Paris, they end up fucking in Bond's hotel room, and he gets information about like where to infiltrate like Carver's kind of newspaper facilities, like printing press and stuff, where it's where the GPS encoder is, which is what Gupta was buying at the bazaar, which they used to fake the coordinates where the Davenport got shot, or Devonshire, whatever it is, got blown up. Also, when James Bond landed in Hamburg, we got the sequence where he meets Q. Q looking as old as ever, because he's been in these movies since the start, pretty much.
1963? 3 or 4?
2 is in Doctor No came out, but I don't think he's in Doctor. I think he's in From
He's
Russia
not in Doctor No.
I think he's in From Russia with Love first, which is 63.
Yeah, 63. So he would have been, I think he died when he was 85.
Yeah, and he died in a car crash. He didn't die of old age, even. They could have kept him going forever.
I mean, they kind of retire him in The World Is Not Enough, but apparently he said that he would have kept doing them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but yeah, he died at 85, so he would have been like 83 here.
Yeah, and I think that like John Cleese is a fun replacement. It would have been fun if, like, mind you, he would not have fit within Daniel Craig's movies to be like a Q. So like, makes sense they didn't bring him back for those ones, because like those movies are too serious. But like, if they made like 2 more Brosnan movies, it would have been fun to have more Q interactions with John Cleese. But
I think Cleese is a natural progression from Desmond.
Yeah, and so like Q's like pretending to be like some sort of he's trying to be some car rental agent or something like that. So like he takes James Bond to get his new car and everything. And like this parts in the trailer where asking all the coverage he wants for his car, like like destruction of property, like explosive damage, like fatalities, like all these extra things, which is like all that stuff was in the trailer. And so they go to like a little hangar to show off. Here's going to be a car for this mission. There, it's a BMW 750iL. And so this not that great looking of a car. There's definitely been better ones.
I chalk that up to the 90s.
Yeah, but this one, he's able to remote control it with his
so cool
Sony Ericsson phone.
He can control it with his little touchpad.
Yeah, and like when Q's like showing him, like, oh, like it's hard to control. So Q keeps backing up into walls and stuff. It does it's all janky and such. But like, of course, James Bond's instantly able to do it perfectly and such.
Yeah, he's like, let me see how it responds to my touch.
Classic.
Because the car, of course, talks and it has a woman's voice.
Oh yeah.
Q's like, I thought you might like this better if it was a woman.
Yeah. He's considered a Bond, and like the running gag of all the Q stuff. I love Q branch stuff in James Bond so much because every gadget that pops up serves exactly one very niche purpose in later on in the movie. Every single time.
I also love how Q's always upset that he breaks all of these things that are clearly meant to be broken.
Yeah.
You've given him a remote control car, specifically built in with gadgets for combat and defense, and you think he's going to bring it back in one piece?
Yeah.
Look, what do you think he's going to be using this for?
I love it so much because he's consistently pissed off with James Bond. He's always so flippant during all the demonstrations too. Every single time, he's half paying attention and stuff, and he's sometimes if there's a Q branch thing at headquarters, he's just really fucking around with things. But with this one, it's really just the main gadget of this movie is the car, the remote control car. There's not much else. But yeah,
it's a good car.
But yeah, so after Bond and Paris sleep with one another, after learning that Teri Hatcher is pregnant, it's do they really show her belly in this movie? But they really don't. So so Bond goes off to his printing press to find.
He goes off to the printing press. Some guards see him. He throws one into the printing press and says, "They'll print anything these days."
And blood going through all the printing press, doing all the papers,
which is so good.
Yeah, and was one part where Ricky Jay is showing off this big satellite there and how expensive it is, but it's in such a contained room. It makes it's a small little office there, and he makes this one comment. I think about his line every time someone says that you break it, you buy it. I think of Ricky Jay's delivery in this movie, but also so of course the satellite breaks because of James Bond, but how are they expect? He's all right, I want to get this. He says I'll get the satellite to the airport or something like that. But how would they get that satellite out of that room?
You know what? I'm sure if they had to they would have found a way.
Yeah.
These seemed, there was a terrorist arms bazaar. Anything can happen.
Yeah. And as James Bond's there's gunfight and everything, Michelle Yeoh, she is clear that she's a spy too. So she's rappelling down the building and stuff. She's doing a fair amount of her own stunts, which is awesome because it's Michelle Yeoh.
Yep.
She wanted to do more stunts, but they couldn't get the insurance for it. Which is too bad because she's still doing her stunts for movies long after this too.
Yeah.
And the one thing with Michelle Yeoh in this movie is that she completely outshines James Bond in all the action scenes, which is unique because no other James Bond movie has sometimes they have Bond girls who are secret agents. Sometimes it's I married Goodnight in The Man with the Golden Gun, who's the most useless agent ever, or they have a Jinx in Die Another Day, who's Halle Berry's mildly competent, but never outshines him.
Yeah, she's mildly competent, but she still needs to be rescued at one point.
Yeah.
Rosie Carver is a complete idiot.
Oh, the dumbest. Yeah.
Yeah, the dumbest.
Don't get a spy that believes in superstitions and witchcraft and voodoo.
Right, yeah, and again, Mary Goodnight, I don't know how she still has a job. Mm-hmm. She almost kills James Bond in that movie because she backs her ass into a button that turns a laser on. How are you an agent?
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's so goofy, but yeah, so Bond after he gets this GPS encoder from the office, he returns back to the hotel room and he sees that Paris Carver has been killed.
Yeah.
So Carver has ordered the death of his own wife because he's an evil bastard.
It's being reported on by the news in his room, the report that's supposed to air tomorrow is playing.
Yeah, which is that she was found dead. 2 bodies were found. She was found dead, and the other guy committed suicide.
Yeah, and then Vincent Schiavelli comes in as the assassin.
It is.
I love this guy. I love this guy because he comes in. He's he's putting on this ridiculous German accent. Mm-hmm. Right? He's hello, Mr. Bond. I am Mr. I don't remember what his name is.
Kaufman.
I am Dr. Kaufman. I am very good at what I do. He's bragging about how good of a hitman he is. My specialty is celebrity overdoses.
Yeah.
Right?
He's he makes comments about you're like, I'm a great marksman, so if you move, I will shoot you. And Bond's like, I'm supposed to look like a suicide, like, I am very good at my work.
Yeah, he's bragging the whole time about how good he is at his job and what he's going to do to Bond, and then he immediately fucks the whole thing up.
Yeah. Because, like, there's a bunch of guys trying to get the GPS encoder within Bond's car. So it's in a parking garage, but, like, everyone's, like, poking and prodding, getting zapped by the car.
Yeah, they're getting zapped by the car because of the security. They can't break any of the windows. They're smashing it with bats, and they're just bouncing off. And they're like, listen, don't kill him yet. We can't get into the car. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he says, Bond, this is very embarrassing for me.
Yeah. He's so, like, it's so funny because he's so cocky, and then he just, like, he's like, this is embarrassing. Fuck.
Yeah, yeah. He's immediately like, okay, this is very embarrassing. I hate to do this. This never happens. I swear.
Yeah. And then he asks, like, all right, so how do I do this? All right, Bond's like, he press like 7 and 9 on the phone. He's like, all right, sure. So he press 7 and 9. It shocks Kaufman. So Bond's able to, like, get a gun towards him, and, like, it's like, I was just a professional doing my job.
Yeah, and Bond just shoots him.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And, like, he, like, rubs his thumb on the forehead of Teri Hatcher one last time. Then he runs back to the parking garage and gets back into the car. And this action sequence is pretty damn cool. Where, like,
he's controlling the car with his remote control from the back seat.
Mm-hmm. So, like, I remember watching the special feature. I didn't watch special features this time, but, like, they had, like, people underneath the car controlling it. So that's why you can see no driver driving the car. So, like, it's very, like they, like, had people really cramped in there actually remote controlling it. But, like, clearly it wasn't Pierce Brosnan driving it. But, like, in this parking garage, like, all this car has, like, so many, like, different, like, gadgets and cool nifty ththings with it, where they put, like spike traps in the ground. The tires get deflated, but of course there's the ability for that car to reinflate the tires.
They try to stop the car with like a cable wire from a tow truck.
Mm-hmm.
They put it against, like, one pillar and the other side to try to I guess slice it, and the car just has, like, little scissors that come out and cut it.
Yeah, and the perfect height, so it gets the height perfectly for it.
Yeah, no, but it's a great, because the whole thing takes place in the parking garage, so he's just drifting around.
Yeah, and he's laughing his ass off. He's having the time of his life with it.
He's having a great time. I don't think any Bond enjoys killing as much as Pierce Brosnan.
He loves it so much.
Yeah, right? Like, the only time he's ever happy in these movies. This might be the happiest we ever see Pierce Brosnan's Bond during this chase.
Yeah.
He's having the time of his life.
He enjoys this more than sex.
Yeah, right. He is absolutely. He's drifting through this. He's foiling their little traps. He's slamming into them. He's killing them. He's just laughing in the back seat, going, "Ha ha!" Yeah. Incredible.
And the sequence ends where, like, Bond dives out of the car, and he takes the car, like, launches it off the top of the parking garage.
Yeah, into the rental place across the street.
Yeah.
With no regard for civilian safety.
Yeah, like, someone would have definitely have died. You see all the civilians, like, run out of the way, but, like, it's cool because it's practical shit, and that's what awesome James Bond movies is, always practical stuff. So you get to see, like, a car smash through this, a car jump off a parking garage, and a car smashed into this car rental place. It's so cool.
There's also a great little gag in it. One of the guys jumps in front of the car with a bazooka and fires a rocket at the car, but because the car has been so smashed up by the carnage, that there is no windshield or back window, so the rocket just goes right through and hits the other guys.
It's so badass. It's so cool.
And Bond looks back after this happens, and he's just like, great.
Oh, so awesome. So then the next sequence is, so then Bond, he has a decoder device, so he goes to an Air Force base in Okinawa, and he gets to meet up with his old CIA contact, Jack Wade, played by Joe Don Baker.
Jimbo.
Yeah. Joe Don Baker is one of those guys I always love watching him pop up in movies.
I'm almost mad they didn't just make him Felix.
Well, it makes sense why they didn't do it, because, like, because in License to Kill, like, where Felix loses a leg, it's a gritty thing. He loses his wife, too. So, like I can see them just being like, you know what, we'll do someone different this time around. Give Felix a break or something. But, like,
yeah, but I just, I just love an American calling James Bond Jimbo.
Yeah.
And I feel like that should be Felix.
because like it feels like Felix should be like the American equivalent of James Bond, but like
Yeah.
I like how this guy is just some like American, just like American slob.
Yeah, he's always in a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. And like that's what I love about Jodan Baker. He never played like actually no, because Jodan Baker is like a bit of a he played a villain in Living Daylights as well. He played like a
Yeah.
and the arms dealer who always loves his historical reenactment. So there's like, we gotta get this guy back.
I love when they reuse it. I think they should start reusing actors again. I think they should give Dave Bautista another shot.
Yes. Oh my God, Dave Bautista
Bring
was
him
a
back.
great henchman.
He was a great henchman in a bad movie. Bring him back. Let him be the main villain.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking? Be a really cool villain for a main villain for James Bond movie? Get Benicio del Toro back.
Yes.
Because he was the henchman Licensed to Kill, but he was so like boyish in that movie. But like Benicio now is such a different kind of performer. And I
Get
think
Sicario Benicio.
Yeah, because like he's already worked with Denis Villeneuve, so like it's there's already the connection there, and I think he would just completely knock it out of the park.
I think, yeah. Start giving these people. Willem Dafoe only did a game. Give him a movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Willem Dafoe would be a fun villain. Oh yeah, because he was the villain in Everything or Nothing.
He was
video game.
He was the villain in Everything or Nothing, which inexplicably, which I'm not complaining about because I like the movie, is directly connected to A View to a Kill.
Oh, Zorn Enterprise, isn't it?
He's Christopher Walken's protege. He's mad at Bond for killing him.
You were playing through like a lot of the James Bond games, right? You guys, I saw you guys did GoldenEye Rogue Agent.
Yes, for the Tribune on our YouTube, we've been playing through. We went through 6 of them. Mm-hmm. We did Quantum of Solace.
I never played that one.
We did both versions of Quantum of Solace, the PS2 one and the PS3 one. The PS2 one is just as regular third person shooter. The PS2 one is it's like Call of Duty, but you can take cover and it becomes a third person cover shooter. And it's really solid, like genuinely. We did Agent Under Fire, which is great. Mm-hmm. We did From Russia with Love, which is great.
I never played that one.
It's good. Sean Connery came back for it.
All right, he did the voice, yeah.
Yeah, he did the voice, right? So you got young Sean Connery face, and then coming out of it is the voice of old man Sean Connery.
I kind of wish these games were like a bit easier to play in modern systems. I'm sure you just emulated them all, right? Like, so they are.
I emulated Agent Under Fire because I only have it on GameCube, but the other ones I was playing straight from my PS2.
Oh, nice. Yeah, like probably a capture card, right? Yeah.
And yeah, Everything or Nothing. We did GoldenEye for a Patreon exclusive.
Ooh.
And GoldenEye Rogue Agent, which was because I figured you got to throw a bad one in there.
Yeah, and I remember it being very, very bad and very stupid.
It is very bad and very stupid.
I remember because your guy is like a robot eye or something like that. That's what we call him, Agent GoldenEye.
He has a robot eye that is given to him by Scaramanga because you play as a guy who was fired from MI6 because he was such a bad agent that in a simulated training exercise he gets James Bond killed. So he's fired and then joins Goldfinger because in this universe all the villains are still alive and they're together, but Goldfinger is at war with Dr. No.
Yeah. I heard the plot being so fucking stupid. Like, is it at least like is it a fun? I remember playing some of the multiplayer and thought the multiplayer was pretty bad.
I don't know. I didn't play the multiplayer. The single player. I mean, gameplay wise, it's not atrocious. Mm-hmm. It's got you can dual wield anything with anything, which is a fun mechanic. Mm-hmm. But it's just really monotonous. Mm-hmm. And again, you're not James Bond, so all you're really doing is dual wielding guns and running around shooting, not doing any James Bond things. And just this could have been anything. Mm-hmm. Why is it? It really feels like one of those things where it's we have something, let's slap a license on it.
Yeah, and that was a weird era too because they had a couple of James Bond games just before that actually were pretty good at what they're trying to do.
Yeah. They had Nightfire, and that came out the same year as Everything or Nothing. I was what are we doing? That feels like they had a shooter, and they were listen, Black is out. No one's going to care about this. Let's slap... What license do we own? Well, Bond. Okay, it's GoldenEye Rogue Agent.
at the same time, though, I kind of wish that they did more of that, because the fact it's been like how many years since a James Bond game came out? Like, what is it? Quantum of Solace was the last one.
007 Legends was the last one.
Oh, that game was terrible.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
Right before that was Bloodstone, which we also played for the YouTube, and that game is good.
I never played Bloodstone.
Bloodstone is good. It's a third-person shooter. That was the one where they tried to give Craig his own Everything or Nothing. Mm-hmm. It's like an original story, and they made it like a movie. But it plays like Splinter Cell Conviction.
Oh, nice.
So like you have like the mark and execute system, which is a fantastic. Every third-person shooter should have that system, because it's just cool to be like, oh, I've built up a meter where I can one-hit kill 3 dudes in a row.
I really like being kind of like goofy in Splinter Cell, because like those games weren't always about like mass killing. Like that would work perfectly like a 24 video game. If like Jack Bauer was doing that, that would fit.
Oh, there is a 24 game, but it came out before Conviction.
Yeah, that 24 game. I never played it, but like I watched a playthrough of it online, because like it's canon to the TV show.
I played it. I own it. I mean, it's not terrible. I think what they tried to do was interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where it's like multiple characters playing with different gameplay styles in a way, but also like, you know.
Yeah. And they have like the interrogation system.
Yeah.
Which is fun. But
yeah, but like the new game coming out, I'm looking for it. I'm probably wait for till the reviews drop before I, make a purchase of it, but like,
this game better be good, because this game has taken up my entire financial quarter.
Yeah.
I bought the collector's edition that comes with the replica golden gun.
Nice.
Which in Canada costs like $450.
Oh my god.
and then I also bought the DualSense controller, which isn't even that nice of a controller, frankly. It's just a gold controller that says 007 in the middle.
Yeah.
It's nothing compared to my Astrobot controller. I didn't need this at all, but I thought, you know what? I might as well.
Mm-hmm. And you've been watching all these James Bond movies. You're appearing on this podcast to talk James Bond as well.
Yeah, me and Nick for Stand and Watch, we're doing a bonus episode for the movie for Casino Royale for the game to come when the game comes out. And it's just like, you know what? I don't need this controller. It's not nicer than my current controller. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I'm already $500 in the hole.
Yeah. What's a little bit more?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I love the Hitman games. That trilogy was really damn cool. So like I really hope that they're able, if they like emulate only part of that style, like I think that it'll work for James Bond.
I think if they have a solid mix of regular Hitman and Hitman Absolution, you have the perfect James Bond video game. Yeah. People hate Hitman Absolution. That's a great game. It's not a good Hitman game.
No, that's the thing, yeah.
But that is a great game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it's like good production values, like it looks really good. It's fun. It's just like not what you really want to play an Agent 47 game for. And the plot was kind of the plots were never that great in the Hitman games, but like, having like that one was kind of like can't really get that invested into it.
Yeah, but like even the stealth in that game is good. Mm-hmm. Like it's not, the levels are like small and linear and enclosed, so it's not what you want out of a Hitman game. Mm-hmm. But the stealth mechanics that are there are good. Yeah, and the shooting is good. Mm-hmm. So if they just go, okay, we'll give you these bigger areas that are like current Hitman, where you can, which it seems like they've done, based on the gameplay previews, they have areas like that where you can find your way around the way you want. You can sneak around, and if you get caught, you can like bluff your way out of it, which is cool. Mm-hmm. And then when the shooting starts, it's just Hitman Absolution.
And they got a Lana Del Rey theme song, which like I've been wanting a Lana Del Rey James Bond song for like decades. I feel like she's been maybe not decades, but like I feel like Lana Del Rey was like birthed in a lab to do a James Bond theme song. They
turned her down for Spectre.
Yeah, like they just made the worst decision for Spectre. That Sam Smith song sucks ass so much. It's so bad.
It's so bad, but yeah, it's a good song. It's a good song. The opening credit sequence is good. I hope the gun barrel sequence is good.
Yeah, I hope it's good. I think I might pick it up, but I'll wait for the reviews to drop and then I'll grab it, because like it'd be cool if a good James Bond game again.
Yeah.
Did you ever play the Tomorrow Never Dies video game for the PS1?
That is the one I have not. That's the only one I haven't.
Yeah, I haven't played it either. But I remember remember seeing some footage. I think it was like a ski sequence. No, ski sequence was a World's Not Enough. But it's like a third person shooter.
Yeah, I think it plays like Siphon Filter.
Okay, I never played that one either.
I'm assuming it plays like it because I think that's just like the standard to me for third person shooters in the PS1.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Tomorrow Never. It's the one. I mean, I haven't played any of like the pre-GoldenEye ones.
Yeah.
But those are whatever. But I've played every other one. Except that one. I don't. It's escaped me. I own every other one too. That's the only one I haven't been able to find I mean, I could probably go on eBay or whatever, but every other one I've either owned as a kid or bought from my retro store. Mm-hmm. That's the one I'm just like, I haven't found it yet.
I had the Game Boy Color version of The World's Not Enough as well. That game is terrible.
Oh, any Game Boy version of a first person shooter.
It almost controls a bit like there's like 2D side scroll segments, but also parts like kind of like, if I remember correctly, they like it's almost like a Metal Gear knockoff, but like really really janky, like the original Metal Gear. But yeah, James Bond like just fits well for a video game, especially the Pierce Brosnan ones. The Pierce Brosnan ones, which are very very violent, like
again, he is spraying and praying in these movies.
Yeah, so. So let's go back to the movie itself. So so James Bond is meeting up with Jodan Baker.
Jimbo,
and like he hands over the decoder to this like I don't know, some nerdy science, not some guy there, and he's like shows that like how his decoder works and how like they show like a circle, the two circles supposed to overlap, but the decoder makes them separate, so the radar signals get all fucked up, which like. Is how the ship wandered into Chinese waters, and so now they're so the plan right now is that James Bond is going to investigate the wreck where the ship went down. So he gets into a plane. He does a high altitude, low opening jump, a halo jump.
Yeah,
which looks pretty damn cool. But as he's jumping, I love how like Jodan Baker finds out that like someone tells him like they think they're in international waters, but turns out James Bond is doing this jump into Vietnamese waters, or no, Vietnamese waters. So like he's could have caused an even further international incident by doing it. So they're all freaking out because like, does anything with American markings on them? Because like America is not involved with this mission at all. And of course, like, the parachute is the weapon, like everything he has is American.
Yep.
And so he's exploring the wreck, which is a pretty cool sequence. And down in the wreck, he runs into Michelle Yeoh again. She's investigating the exact same thing. And they notice that one of the cruise missiles is missing. And they resurface, and they see like one of those, like, I forgot the name of those traditional, like, boats are in the area there. They see, like, they wave a guy down, and that guy gets shot with like a spear gun by Stamper.
Oh, poor guy.
And they're taken to Carver's Carver's media company's tower in Saigon. This tower has a huge banner with like Carver's face on it.
Yep.
And inside, of course, like the villain's kind of explaining his plan a little bit, and Bond and Michelle Yeoh are tied up, and Stamper has all his like torture equipment, which are like all these like it's like almost like it's an Oriental box where everything's like very ornate, and all these knives look very like complicated with like extra like nice whatever. Like I bad way to describe it. It looks like the equipment that the gynecological equipment in Dead Ringers. Like it looks like very sharp and painful.
It looks like ancient dental equipment.
It does, yeah.
Right? It looks like this is what you'd get. This is what like you'd get your teeth cleaned by in like 1306.
But Carver says to, or not Carver, Stamper says to Bond as he's like getting his torture equipment ready, like, Dr. Kaufman was like a father to me. I love another beat with Dr. Kaufman.
He was like, because I think Carver also mentions that Stamper and Stamper was his protege or something.
Yeah. So like,
because when he brings out the equipment, he's like, he's going to torture you. He was trained by Dr. Kaufman.
Yeah.
But to me, that's not a good endorsement, because all I've seen of Dr. Kaufman is this man was a moron.
Yeah.
But I love Dr. Kaufman is the Brosnan movies have such good side characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they're able to escape this whole thing. Like Stanford gets like stabbed in the leg with one of these torture things, but Michelle Yeoh and Bond are cuffed together.
Yep, this is a good chase.
And so they get to the roof. And they try and get down. So they can't get down. So they hop onto the giant Carver picture banner, jump off, and like hang onto it and rip the banner and fall down the building.
Yeah, they use it to rappel, and it's ripping as they're going down, and then they get caught at the end, and they I don't know what word I'm looking for. It's 11 o'clock at night, but they like pendulum swing. There it is. They pendulum swing into the window of the office below. And everybody in the office freaks out. They're like, ah!
I love James Bond movies. Always have really great like crowd reactions.
Yes.
Yeah. And so they get inside and they get downstairs and they, all these people are after them and they find a motorcycle. So, but they're cuffed together. So like, like her left hand's on his right hand or whatever. And so like gets to the front seat of the bike and she's on the back there. They kind of bicker back and forth because like she's capable of doing shit too. And then this is the major set piece of the movie where they are tied together in a motorcycle. So it's going to be complicated because like, he's got one end of the handlebar. She's got the other end of the handlebar. Mm-hmm. And the director was saying like because like after Goldeneye, because they have the big scenes with the tank there, they thought like we can't do another sequence with a bigger vehicle, so let's try doing something smaller. And so it's a motorcycle chase and helicopters chasing after them. A lot of gunfire. They're like driving through buildings and stuff. They are.
Yeah, they drive through. They drive on top of the buildings. They drive through people's apartments.
Yeah. It's like a really interesting, really goofy part where they drive through an apartment there, and there's like a naked girl, and she's almost like aroused by the fact that like they broke her doors and saw her like naked.
Was she naked alone, or was she? But
she's alone.
She's alone. I thought she was about to have. I thought it was like about to get busy.
No, I think it's just her by herself. It's not like in the movie Commando where there's a part where like they bust through a door there and they see a guy who's like clearly about to get pegged by a woman.
No, I thought that's why she was aroused.
No, she just like looks at the camera and smiles and like, he just destroyed your kitchen.
Some people like danger.
Yeah. And the big stunt of this is so the helicopter is in a stationary thing. It's kind of like a 45-degree angle, so the blades are going towards them. They can't go anywhere else, so they rev up and they drive the motorcycle and slide underneath the helicopter and like attach like a hook to it, which causes the helicopter to just get crash into a building and kind of explode.
It's such a good chase.
It's such a cool stunt, and like, yeah, like this, it's just so cool. And so like Bond and Michelle Yeoh are showering, cleaning up, and Michelle Yeoh like takes the handcuff, unties it, and like locks him up to like a pipe,
a pipe that they were showering with. Yeah.
And so then they're able to escape and they're able to get back to their respective people. And so Carver's big scheme is that Carver's planning to destroy most of the Chinese government with the stolen missile, which is going to allow a Chinese general named Chang to assume power, and then he'll negotiate a truce, but Carver will be given complete exclusive broadcasting rights to China for the next 100 years. So it's all financials. It's all for money, of course. There's also a cool sequence where like at Michelle Yeoh's safe house where they're trying to reach their own people. So like, there's a few goons chasing after them, and Michelle Yeoh does all her kicks and stuff. So it's awesome. Michelle Yeoh stunts, and she has like basically all kinds of cute like gadgets in her place too. They have some James Bond's old watches and stuff they made improvements with.
I like in that sequence how she kicks all of their asses by herself, and then James Bond comes at the end and just punches one guy out and acts like the hero.
Yeah.
He's like, he punches the one dude out. He taps the guy on the shoulder and he turns. He's got his gun pointed at Michelle Yeoh, who's his intended target. And someone taps him on the shoulder and he turns around like a fucking moron.
Yeah.
And Bond punches him out and he just with this look on his face. Ain't I great?
Yeah. So now it's going to be the final climax of the movie. So they get aboard they all suit up and everything. They get aboard Carver's stealth ship, and trying to stop this missile from being launched, and you know, Michelle Yeoh ends up being captured. There's like a lot of great gunfire in this part too. Like Michelle Yeoh looks fucking badass with like shooting 2 machine guns at the same time.
Bond again, spraying and praying.
Yeah, but because Michelle Yeoh gets captured, they doesn't want to blow up the boat right away. Wants to free her, so Bond tries to get Ricky Jay. I guess Ricky gets a gun to Ricky Jay and tries to use him as a hostage. But like Carver's like, yeah, fuck you, Ricky Jay, and just kills him anyway, saying he outlived his contract.
Oh God, you really could use this exact same plot today.
Absolutely, yeah. They should just do like Tomorrow Never Dies like Redux for Denis Villeneuve's new movie. Just make the same movie again.
You could just make the same movie again. You could do it and not change any of Carver's lines.
Yeah.
You don't have to change his scheme. You don't have to change his dialogue.
Mm-hmm. And yeah. So then like they're able to kind of go separate ways and everything because like the grenades explode, kind of causing distraction. And then like it's dumb because Michelle Yeoh gets captured again by Stamper, which is really annoying because like it's Michelle Yeoh, she's more capable than James Bond. It kind of sucks that she gets to be a damsel at the end. But Bond kind of gets to Carver as they're both kind of all fucked up and everything, and Bond uses the giant drill to like activates it, and it ends up like crushing going through Carver, and like Bond has a great line. It's like you forgot the first news of like the media, give the people what they want, and Carver dies a horrible, horrible death.
God, what a great villain death! Just massacred by his own giant drill.
Yeah. And it's like, it is such a menacing looking drill too. It's so over the top, and like I love the fact that like he's hoisted by his own petard at the end. It's what he designed, what his evil plan was. It's like if Goldfinger got killed by the laser beam instead of just being sucked up by a window. Like
I think Brosnan had the best villain kills.
Yeah, it's time to face gravity.
Yeah. 006 for England, James. Nope, for me. Yeah. Drops him off a satellite. Somehow this fucker survives.
And then the satellite drops on him.
The satellite falls directly on him. And I'm a big proponent of the death should match the villainy, right? I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Breakdown.
No.
With Kurt Russell. The villain of this movie, I'll spoil. It's a bit of a spoiler here, but okay. So in this movie, his wife is kidnapped by this trucker, right? They're on a road trip, and they're in like Arizona, in the Arizona desert. Their car breaks down, and this trucker offers, "Hey, I'll drive your wife to the diner, and she can make a phone call, and then you just meet us or whatever." And then she's disappeared, and he's like, "What happened to my wife?" And then the trucker shows up again, and he's like, "I don't know who you are." And then it turns out the trucker kidnaps the wife for money or whatever, and he eventually rescues his wife. And at the end, the movie ends with this incredible Mad Max-esque car chase where Kurt Russell and the trucker are just trying to kill each other with their cars. Like Kurt Russell has stolen a pickup truck, and he's rescued his wife, and he's trying to kill the trucker who's in his truck. And the truck is hanging off a bridge. They're climbing on the truck. Kurt Russell knocks him down. He falls off the truck down, like lands on rocks below. So he's dropped about like 20 feet onto rocks. He should be dead, but that wouldn't be satisfying for what this fucker has done. So he's still alive, and then the truck falls on him.
Nice.
Right? This is my biggest complaint with John Wick, and I know it matches the kind of guy he is, but that fucker deserved more than just a quick shot to the head.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's cool, but damn it, he deserved more.
Yeah, more complex deaths would be interesting for, like, a John Wick villain to get.
Right? Like,
I understand
it. Yeah, I understand it matches the tone of just shooting him in the head mid-sentence while he's trying to say it was just a dog, but that guy deserved to be,
mauled by a dog.
Mauled by a dog or stick a dynamite up the ass. Or like, that guy deserves much more. And the Brosnan villain deaths are great because... Again, 006, how did he survive? Doesn't matter, because that satellite falls on him and he deserved it, right? Elliot Carver
gets carved up.
Gets carved up by a giant fucking drill. Incredible. Renard, he gets the fucking plutonium thing just shot right through him.
I feel nothing.
Right? Which is great. Electric King, he just shoots, but that works.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's just
die.
him. Yeah, she's just like, you wouldn't kill me, you'd miss me. And he just shoots her point blank. I never miss.
Yeah.
Which, again, Pierce Brosnan, just a ruthless bastard.
Stone cold. Stone cold.
And then, Gustav Graves, just out of a plane, into the engine. And then he says, you can't fight gravity or whatever he says.
Because Graves says to him, it's time to face destiny. And Bond says, it's time to face gravity, activates the parachute, and he just explodes.
Oh, no, it's not. No, he activates because he's wearing a suit that lets him, like, electrocute people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's fucking Palpatine. And he pushes, time to face gravity. And he pushes the button on his suit. And I guess because he's holding onto the plane, it electrocutes himself. And he lets go and right into the engine.
Yeah.
Just incredible deaths by Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan knew how to kill a villain.
Yeah. And so it's unfortunate, but so like Carver's dead, but Stamper's still alive, and Stamper's like up where the cruise missile is. It's ready to launch, and Michelle Yeoh like stabs him, so she falls down, but she's like wrapped in chains, so she's gonna be drowning. And Bond like traps Stamper in where the missile fire mechanism is, so like so the missile's like ready to go off. It's going to blow up inside. It's like destroying the whole ship. And so like Bond falls into the water, saves Llewelyn as like kisses underwater, which I guess gives her oxygen. And the missile like gets ready to launch off, and it's like all the fire's like melting his foot. And like Stamper's not really reacting as much as he should be, but then the missile explodes. It destroys the ship, and they they're among some of the wreckage there, and Bond and Michelle Yeoh are, kissing, and the ship's kind of looking. All the ships are looking for them, trying to track them down. And what's the final line?
Oh, what is the final line? It's hard to remember since I have since watched The World's Not Enough after I watched this, and you can't really top that final line.
Okay. It's like, So Michelle Yeoh says, they're looking for us, James. And Bond says, let's stay undercover. Which is like, you could have done a little bit better, Bond. Like, you've done better before for final lines.
Well, they made up for it in the next movie.
Oh, absolutely. But then of course the credits roll, and James Bond will return in the next movie, which he does.
Yep.
And so like Diner Day, Tomorrow Never Dies, it received like again, like as I mentioned before, like a pretty, relatively positive reviews, but like, I sort of liked it, but like it didn't blow anyone's socks off. Kind of like GoldenEye really impressed people.
I feel like this movie was a victim of GoldenEye, how good it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because GoldenEye is an all-timer.
Yeah.
And any follow-up wasn't going to be as well received.
Mm-hmm.
If you hold this up to GoldenEye, you're like, well, it's fine. But on its own as a James Bond movie, this fucking rules.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And what's crazy about this movie? This movie opened number 2 because it opened the same day as Titanic.
Oh. When did Titanic open?
Same day as this, so December 19th, 1997.
December, yeah, fuck.
Which is kind of crazy that James Bond movie got a December release.
Yeah, they usually go for November.
Yeah, but this movie made a lot of money because like it cost $110 million. It made $339 million. So like, and like, at this point, like I think GoldenEye onwards until No Time to Die, because no Time to Die fucked over with COVID. Like each Bond movie made a lot more than the last. So like these movies, were printing money.
Yeah, I think each Bond movie from GoldenEye onwards, each Bond movie was the highest grossing in the franchise.
Yeah. And
right? Like even Die Another Day at that point, like for as maligned as it was, that was the highest grossing movie up to that point. Yeah. And then Casino Royale was the highest grossing up to that point.
I think Thunderball, when it came out, like if you adjust Thunderball for inflation, that movie made something like $1.3 billion.
Jesus Christ.
Which is crazy. Like it made a shit ton of money. Like it's like one like surprise. It's like a sleeper, like one of the top grossing movies of the '60s.
I mean, you know what? That followed Goldfinger, so I don't. That's actually quite believable.
Absolutely, yeah. And yeah. So like but like a lot of people came around to this movie too. There's a lot of articles written, especially in the 2020s about how this movie's kind of ahead of its time, especially with how like the media operates. So this is a movie that people actually kind of have looked back on with a lot more thematic interest than they would have done when this movie first came out.
Yeah, I mean, again, 1997. I guess this is a case of your kids will love it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then of course this movie gets to see James Bond will return. He returns in World's On Now, which comes a couple years later, and then we keep getting more and more James Bond movies, and now here we are today, where we're going to figure out who the Denis Villeneuve is going to cast as his next James Bond for Bezos's Amazon's Netflix James Bond movie.
Look, it's going to be Tom Holland, and the villain is going to be a union leader.
If Tom Holland's James Bond, I will not watch it. The problem with Tom Holland, first off, is like he's fine as Spider-Man or whatever, but like, do you ever watch that Uncharted movie?
I did.
Yeah,
it's bad. It's a bad movie.
Oh, we talked about this before in this podcast, but like, there's a part in Uncharted where he learned how to bartend, spent 4 days learning how to bartend, and so it's like a scene where he's just like fucking around with the shaker, mixing drinks, or whatever like that. But like, he doesn't look old enough to buy booze. Like if he orders a vodka martini shaken upstairs, they'll ask for his ID.
Yeah, which is because look, he is. I'm pretty. He's 1 year older than me, right? He is. He's not. He is not a 12-year-old. He's not a teenager as much. He's Spider-Man, but he's not 15.
Yeah.
And I do wonder why he is still perceived, and I do this all the time. Whenever me and Nick talk about Tom Holland, my impression of Tom Holland is of, it's me, Tom Holland. The name's Bond, James Bond, right? And it's mean, and I really shouldn't because he's older than me, and Timothée Chalamet also has the same kind of look, but we believe him as Marty Supreme and Paul Dune and all these adult roles. And I was like, what is it about Tom Holland? And I'm like, if I look at him ordering a dry martini, I'm going to say, you're a child.
Yeah. I think Timothée Chalamet, he only, because in Dune especially part one, he's supposed to be boyish, supposed to be looking young. And I think Marty Supreme was the first time I've bought Timothée Chalamet as being a true adult. And I think that Timothée Chalamet is just going to, he was boyish for so long, and now he's going to do roles where he looks more mature and more adult. And like Tom Holland in those Odyssey trailers, like he looks older, and like I imagine he will grow up to be an adult actor. But like he will. Like I think he won't keep his boyish look forever. And
I think here's the problem with Tom Holland. Tom Holland is very clearly a song and dance man.
Yes,
at heart. Mm-hmm. Okay. And they're not making movies for song and dance men. And the only one they've made, they gave it to Chalamet.
Yeah. They should, honestly, they should make, get Channing Tatum, get Tom Holland, give them, a musical song and dance movie. Because those are two guys who are, Channing Tatum's a former stripper, but he can do, a lot of interesting dance stuff. He especially shows off in Magic Mike. But, they should make movies for these guys, show off their actual skills. Musicals make money. Those Wicked movies made way more money than they deserved.
Yeah, I do wonder. I think at one point, I don't know if this movie's still happening, but he was supposed to play Fred Astaire.
Yeah, that is still happening. I forget who's directing it, but that's a
if
great
that's still
casting.
happening. Mm-hmm. If that's still happening, I think that's his chance. I think that's his chance for people to be like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry, we didn't recognize your game."
Yeah. I hope that. Yeah, I think that was really interesting casting. I forget who's doing it, but that's movie. I'm really interested in that movie. But Tom Holland, James Bond, I don't believe it's going to happen.
Oh no, there's no chance. But it's just funny to think about. It's
a funny hypothetical, yeah. Because with the Broccoli family, they always wanted to go for people who were had pretty much one notable role, but someone who was not a megastar. They wanted to turn people into megastars.
Sean Connery was an unknown. Mm-hmm. Roger Moore was a TV actor from The Saint.
Yeah. George Lazenby was the
a
biggest
model.
unknown of them all.
he was a model. People knew him from a commercial.
Yeah,
that's all they
one
knew.
Commercial for like chocolate or something like that, and like
Timothy Dalton, I think, was mostly a theater actor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think the things he had. Yeah, I think the things he had done in like TV and movie were like supporting roles. The way, just as one of those, like a BBC actor might take a role for a paycheck. The way like you'll see Mark Strong will just appear in anything.
Yeah.
And Brosnan was known for Remington Steele and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah. And
right?
I think, and Daniel Craig, like he was in like Layer Cake and Munich. Munich was the one that really put him on the map.
I think Layer Cake is what put him on the Bond radar.
Yeah.
And then Munich is what put him on the map. But yeah, like before that, his biggest role before those two were Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, and Road to Perdition.
Oh, right, yeah. So like with whoever's gonna be the next James Bond actor, like I don't think it's gonna be. It can't be something like Tom Holland is already Spider-Man. He's already has his own thing.
Yeah.
So like,
it can't be him. It can't be Cavill.
I hope it's not Cavill. Cavill's a bad actor.
It can't be.
Cavill's also too old. They're going to want a guy in their 30s they can do this for a few decades with, a couple decades.
I don't think it can be Aaron Tyler Johnson.
Yeah, I like him as an actor, but
I like him too. I think when that rumor started, I was like, and then I saw him in Bullet Train. And I was like, okay, I can see it. I think he's too famous.
Is he?
I think he is. He was Kick-Ass. He was in Marvel. People know him. They're like, oh, I hope it's Aaron Tyler Johnson.
Yeah, like he was in like
Kraven
20
the
years
Hunter.
Later, like Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah, no, I think he's too famous. I think.
Honestly,
I don't know. I hope it's not Jacob Elordi.
Yeah, Jacob Elordi. Like I saw Jacob Elordi in person at TIFF. That guy is huge. He's tall. Like he's the tallest guy ever. And like I don't think I'll ever be able to buy him as a spy because he's just too tall.
No, like you're already the guy who tells everybody your name. You can't also be the guy who's like, look at that fucking giant.
Yeah, like who's the spy here? Maybe that guy, the hulking Frankenstein creature.
Yeah, that guy looks like he doesn't belong anywhere.
But like I like Elordi a lot as an actor, so like, I wouldn't be totally against it. Of all the names I've seen thrown out, I think Josh O'Connor would probably be the most interesting pick. But like,
a ratty James Bond.
That's the thing. He looks too ratty. That he doesn't have a. He looks like some like who would be a character like be like an actor in the 70s. The way his face looks.
Yeah, I wonder. No, I mean they wouldn't. But what if they just went with the guy who's in the game?
The new game, yeah. Who's the guy in the new game?
Patrick Gibson.
Oh yeah, he was he played young Dexter Morgan in the Dexter prequel series.
Yeah,
he's a good actor. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, somebody thought he was good enough to be James Bond. I wonder if they would even consider him, or if they'd be like, "No, you're already in the game. You don't get to be in the movie."
Yeah, but like that, like they can make whatever star they want, and like I trust like Denis Villeneuve movies are really well cast. So I think that like he's not going to just like I think he's going to have a lot. He's going to have more power to do whatever he wants than any James Bond director probably ever has had before.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's because it's him. But then again, Amazon,
yeah. So like, if Jeff Bezos decides, all right, we're gonna get Spider-Man to be in here because like we want the Spider-Man fans to come in here, like
I do feel like another director. There's a few directors who probably who would be like this as well. But I feel like Denis is the kind of guy who'd be like, well, then I quit.
Yeah,
right. It's my movie or I quit.
Yeah, and like he has the prestige to make it work, and like that Dune Part 3, Dune Messiah is gonna be fucking huge.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like honestly, I think they should just go with an unknown.
It should be a guy who I watched like one movie, some indie movie, like 3 years ago. Like, oh yeah, that guy was pretty good in that movie.
It should be a guy who people will be like, "Who's that?" And we're like, "Oh, he was in this one.
Yeah,
he was in this one movie a couple years ago that maybe only your cinephile friends watched."
Exactly, yeah. And I think that's probably the best way.
Right.
They kind of mold that guy into like a movie star persona for James Bond. Like they won't have all kinds of previous baggage of like previous roles and such. Like it's not gonna be like, like if they got Timothy Chalamet, like would be like, oh, it was Willy Wonka. Like
Yeah, you can't get a TV guy because they don't make TV anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got to be the way when people are like, well, Daniel Craig, who's that? Oh, he was in Munich, remember? Or Layer Cake.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, that guy. Like, you got to get a guy who's just like, well, what was he in? He was in this one thing that you might have heard of.
Yeah. And like, I remember when I was like on the internet at that point in time where when Daniel Craig got cast as James Bond, the anger because like he was blonde with blue eyes. Like, James Bond's not blonde, doesn't have blue eyes.
I remember they go, oh, James Blonde.
Yeah.
It's like, Roger Moore was blonde, you dipshits.
I know, right? Like, like, did your eyeballs work? Like, but yeah, like, I'm fascinated to see who they end up casting, and like, I'm really excited for to see what Denis Villeneuve ends up doing with it. Mind you, the movie's not going to come out for like 4 more years because, like, you know, movies take forever to make now. But
yeah, just finished. They finished Dune like probably. They probably finished post production on Dune like 4 months ago.
Yeah, and yeah, like, and also like I think it's been enough time since No Time to Die. I love No Time to Die. I think that's a fantastic movie.
No Time to Die is great. I got out of that and I was like, you know, if they just stopped it here,
mm-hmm.
I think that obviously I was like, they're not gonna, and I don't want them to.
Mm-hmm.
But if this was like, okay, James Bond is over, it's been 60 years, 25 movies, I'd be like, that's a good ending.
Yeah, and I remember like I cried at the end of No Time to Die, especially because over the credits they're playing like We Have All the Time in the World by with Louis Armstrong there, which is Our Majesty's Secret Service, which reminds me of that movie. And I was saying at the end, I was like, will they say James Bond will return or not? Because I just saw that guy get obliterated by hellfire.
I think they say, do they? I don't remember if they might say it with a question mark.
They don't say it with a question mark, but they should.
There's no. I guess I Mandela affected myself. I remember them put James Bond will return.
That'd be so funny if they say James Bond will return, and then the question mark just like slowly fades in.
James Bond will return. We don't know. He just got obliterated, and it's owned by Amazon now.
Text this number if you want James Bond to return. Text this number if you don't want him to return.
Oh my god! Pull a Batman Death in the Family.
Yeah. But like, I think like there'll be enough time since the last James Bond movie to like build up the hype with it, because like, Mandalorian and Grogu just came out this weekend, and no one gives a shit because everyone's oversaturated with Star Wars already. But I think
and it's all bad. Yeah,
it's bad too. And I think that James Bond is not an oversaturated franchise, and it never has been.
Not yet.
Yeah,
it's soon. I'm sure it's coming.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's coming, Mr. Bezos.
Honestly, I kind of hope that like. I think that with Star Wars, this Grogu movie is going to make no money, not make enough money. Between that, if Avengers Doomsday doesn't do that well either, I think that Amazon might try and not go too insane with James Bond and like make like a young Bond spinoff or like a Moneypenny like limited series or like Q Origins.
I would love a Moneypenny series that's just her doing secretary work.
That would be fun. Like do like a 6-episode like kind of sitcom thing, like
Give me The Office, but it's Moneypenny.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, and like honestly, if they just like kept like the cast they have like Naomi Harris and like her like getting coffee for Ralph Fiennes, I'd watch it.
Yeah, but no, they shouldn't do that as much as don't do. No, I'd watch it, but please don't do it.
Yeah, I'd watch it, but don't do it. Honestly, I'd be okay if they kept the supporting cast. I liked Winshaw, Fiennes, and Harris a lot, but like. They're probably going to do a fresh start again. Like, I'm not sure they're going to do the same thing where like they just keep Judi Dench between 2 Bonds.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hate if they brought back Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, like Naomi Harris, I like, but I feel like if she's just Secretary Moneypenny, that's a bit of a waste.
It is, yeah.
So her, I guess you can replace Q. I like him as well, but Q can kind of, but. Yeah, I think of them. You can keep Ralph Fiennes. Let's keep Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah, he's like a big enough.
He's
star
got a presence.
That, like,
yeah,
and like he's good in the role because it's like he was a character before he became M in that movie. Like he was like there's stuff going on with him, but also like it's not too like there's not too much backstory that like he'll be too overburdened.
Yeah,
it's not like people are gonna be lost. Like, oh, what was M up to the last movie? That I'm gonna miss what's going on. Like,
and he's a big enough actor that you like. You haven't seen it and you don't know his backstory, he just slots right in there as the authority figure. Like, yeah, I buy this.
Yeah,
right.
And,
like, you don't need to know. Like Judi Dench pops up and you're like, oh, of course she's in charge.
Yeah. Yeah. And, like, you know, Judi Dench doesn't have much to do in this movie, but I think was really a slam dunk novel idea for casting as an M. Because, like...
Oh, whatever casting director wrote down M, Judi Dench?
Yeah. Really.
I hope they got a big raise. That pen was on fire.
Because, like, her in Goldeneye, like, you know, she immediately, like, you know, having James Bond being a sexist character and having her just ream him out as being a sexist dinosaur from a previous era, like...
Yeah.
Like, completely calling it, and it doesn't feel like it's patronizing, but also, like, it's Judi Dench, so she's able to sell the hell out of it, that, like, you don't really feel like, oh, like, here's this, you know, mean woman being mean to James Bond. Like, no, it feels like her boss actually just, like, reaming out a shitty employee.
She reams him out, but then she's immediately like, oh, and Bond, come back alive.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, so she's reaming him out for being a shitbag, but she's also like, yeah, but you're my guy, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, oh, she was great in these movies. And I really liked what they did with her in Skyfall, where they gave her, like, a really expanded role.
Skyfall's great. I cried when she died.
Same. Oh, I love Skyfall. That's, like, my favorite movie that year. It's such a good movie.
Yeah, keep Ralph Fiennes. They probably won't, but they should.
Won't. Yeah, but... Yeah, like, because, like, also, like, you know, they'll probably do some, like, recast too. So, like, that last Bond movie killed off Blofeld, killed off Felix, killed off Bond. And there's like a Bond has a kid somewhere in the world.
Don't keep Blofeld dead. I don't need Spectre.
We don't need more Blofeld.
I don't need Spectre.
Yeah.
I don't need more Blofeld. I don't need more Spectre. It's been soured on me.
Yeah, we just do your own, like, you know, the Pierce Brosnan movies got by fine without Spectre, so, like, why you don't need them back?
Yeah. I just hope, and they're gonna do a full reboot. I don't want this to be the thing now where every time there's a new actor, it's a reboot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
this is my one worry. It's like, okay, so we're gonna have a new guy. He'll probably sign on for 4 movies. Then we'll have maybe they'll coerce him into 5 and 6. You know, if they give him enough money and he doesn't hate himself, like they did with Daniel Craig, and you know. And then they're like, okay, it's time for a new one. And they just reboot the thing again. It's like, no. The Craigs were a reboot because it needed to be rebooted. Mm-hmm. And because of the nature of the way it was rebooted, it needs a reboot again. After that, we don't need to keep rebooting it anymore.
No,
right? After this one, do what you did before. Mm-hmm. The next actor switch, it's just continuing.
Yeah.
It's just a guide. Just a new... It's like a new Batman. We don't need to reboot everything.
We know the story of James Bond. We don't have to be like retold it over and over again. And an origin story.
If the Denis Villeneuve one is like, here's how he became James Bond. Like, no, just give me a James Bond adventure, starring a new guy with a new supporting cast. Yep. And then when this guy's done his 4 movies, just give me a new guy with the same supporting cast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that I like the Craig movies. I don't want continuity again. Plot continuity. I think that was a fun experiment for those 5 movies. I want the movies to be standalone again. I want to be able to, like, you know, hop into a Bond adventure without the burden of a previous movie.
Yeah, I don't need Bond to go rogue and retire 3 different times because he's sad about his ex-girlfriend. And he just wants to be left alone. Like, no, you don't need to do that 3 times because of continuity. Like, if you're not doing... Sure, Bond can go rogue as much as he wants if there's no continuity. Yeah. Ethan Hunt went rogue every movie. Yeah. Right? Then it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, have it be rogue in the same movie. But don't have it be like, oh, James Bond's in self-exile because he's sad or...
Yeah, James Bond resigns in Casino Royale. Mm-hmm. He goes rogue in Quantum of Solace. In Skyfall, he resigns again.
People think he's dead in Skyfall.
Yeah. He fakes his death so he doesn't have to go back to work, and he comes back and he's too old and out of it. And then Spectre comes around and he's back on the job, but he's too old and out of it.
Yeah. And he quits at No Time to Die as well.
Yeah, and then in No Time to Die, yeah, at the end of Spectre, he quits, and then in No Time to Die, he's retired, and then he comes back, and he's old and out of it.
Yeah, and then they fucking
like,
murder him.
How many times has Daniel Craig's Bond been old and out of it?
Yeah, it's so funny because he started off like the Bond movies, like here's like the young James Bond, like here's a guy who's like, you know, a rookie on the job and stuff, and within like 2 movies, it's like here's this old haggard James Bond who hates life.
Yeah, and then they did it 2 more times.
Yeah. Man, Craig Bond's great. It's just so goofy to think about. But yeah, so this is our episode on Tomorrow Never Dies. Any final thoughts on the movie?
I like it. This movie rules, and I think the haters, overall, people hate on the Brosnan era. They're wrong.
Mm-hmm. They're all 4 of them. I think The World's Not Enough is the weakest of the 4 because I think Denise Richards is bad casting. It falls apart in the back half. But like the movies are well made, great stunts, great action set pieces, and they're a lot of fun. They are all fun movies.
Yeah, I think he was. I still think he was the best.
Yeah,
I still think he was the best. But he was that perfect combination of all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pierce Brosnan's my mom's favorite James Bond because she finds him very attractive.
I think she's the same.
Yeah.
My mom hasn't watched a single James Bond movie. She's just like, I like Pierce the best.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? You haven't watched anything? She's like, look at him.
Yeah. He has a fantastic look. He looks good in a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like my final thought James Bond is my on Tomorrow Never Dies is like that was my first DVD that sent me on a long, expensive path to this day. But yeah, so thank you for joining me, Matt. Anything you want to plug?
Yes, I will plug the GG Tribune, which is the website that you also write for. Mm-hmm. Go check that out. Maybe subscribe to our Patreon so we can afford to pay Brian.
Please do.
And I host a dad movie podcast called Stand and Watch, where me and my co-host Nick Kaufman take a look at a different movie every week and determine whether or not it is a dad movie or just how much of a dad movie it is. We have what we call the dad meter. It is like the tomato meter, but it is solely how much a movie appeals to dads.
Yeah. Awesome. And so you can follow me on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Letterboxd at bwishart. You can also find me on GG Tribune, where I do some comedy writing there. I also do some comedy writing at the sister site, Hollywood Times. You can follow MoviePod on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, and YouTube. Next week's episode is going to be doing Spies Like Us. So back to the espionage. I've never seen Spies Like Us.
Oh, who's in this?
I've
heard of this.
Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd is like a Cold War spy movie.
Yeah, I've also never seen this.
Yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be brand new for me. So yeah,
has that been reclaimed? Do people go to bat for Chevy Chase these days?
My guess, you guys just pretty much asked like, hey, I've been doing a big Chevy Chase run lately. Can I just like come on talk to Chevy Chase? And I'm like, bring a bunch of me. But like also people have. I read some retrospective articles about being a cult film, just because of the Cold War stuff. Because I think it was like late Cold War, like maybe 1989 or something like that. So like, the Cold War element is kind of an interesting thing because like, same way like Octopussy is an interesting Cold War movie.
Octopussy. The only bit of information and I've seen it multiple times. The only bit of information I've retained from Octopussy is that she got her nickname as a child. Her father gave it to her, mm-hmm. and there's no further explanation.
It's so stupid. Do you ever read the short story Octopussy?
I've not.
It's basically I've read all the James Bond stuff. So Octopussy is a short story that's combined with Living Daylights, where James Bond like visits this guy who just like has a pet octopus. Like, I know you're a villain. Like MI6 is coming after you, and the guy's like, "Oh no, I'm spooked." And then he's going to like fetch like some like treasure in an octopus tank, and then like he gets killed by something within the tank. Like the octopus maybe kills him. It is so stupid.
Those books really go off the rails after From Russia with Love.
Yeah, they
because Dr. No The Dr. No book is insane.
It's so bad. Yeah.
It's insane. Like, Dr. No captures James Bond and puts him through an obstacle course in the ventilation system, and then he fights a giant octopus? Yeah. Like, what the fuck were you smoking, Fleming?
The man with the golden gun has Scaramanga tie a woman to a train tracks, like hog ties her as a train's coming towards her, and Bond has to stop it. But also the book starts off, because it comes out after You Only Live Twice, where You Only Live Twice ends with James Bond having amnesia and like living as a Japanese man.
It's insane, because From Russia with Love, like all the books before that are like genuinely just good, like grounded espionage thrillers. From Russia with Love spends half the book describing how the Russians plot out their plan to kill and embarrass James Bond and MI6. Like, that's half the book, just going through the Russian process of spying. And it starts with a disclaimer from Ian Fleming saying all the descriptions of the Russian spy work that I'm giving you, and all the descriptions of the rooms that they hold these spy meetings in are completely accurate. I can't tell you how I know that, but trust me. And then it's just a straight up espionage thing where they plan this thing out and Bond goes through with it and like, oh, right, what's the, and it's just it's like the movie. And then the next book, he's fighting a giant octopus.
I don't love the book, but the Spy Who Loved Me book, where it's like a first person story told by a woman, by some French Canadian woman who like falls in love with James Bond at some as she's being chased by two henchmen at like some resort.
Jesus. I don't know what happened to Ian Fleming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
after From Russia with Love, but
it's just funny how like the books go off the rails too, kind of the movies go off the rails as well.
I read that, right, because my library has them, so I've been reading them, and I get to Dr. No, and I'm like, this is dumber than anything that happens in the Roger Moore movies. Yeah. Right? Like, he's fighting a giant... Like, people claim, like, those are too over-the-top silly. And I'm like, they're really not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They are as silly as the rest of this series. There's just maybe a couple more outright gags, but, like, him going to space is pretty plausible, right? And within the context of that movie, they play it pretty straight. And I'm just like... And he's fighting a giant octopus. I'm like, what are you people complaining about?
Maybe that would be the new Disney villain of one who'll fight a giant kraken or something.
Oh my god!
He should just adapt all the stupidest thing from the books, like everything dumb, like all the awful food he orders, all the awful drinks he orders.
I have a theory, right, based on their age and when they, grew up and were watching the Bond movies. Denis Villeneuve and Christopher Nolan, I bet you they love the Roger Moore era. Yeah. That's their era, right? If they're gonna cop anything, it's gonna be that.
Yeah. And maybe a bit less humor than those, but they will be goofy in some way.
Yes, I would not like if Denis Villeneuve had a slide whistle Easter egg. I'd be like, this makes total sense. I bet you he fucking loves that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be fun because the Daniel Craig one's so serious. So go back to like just having these kind of goofier gags and stuff. Bring back the racist sheriff from Live and Let Die. Like, bring back that guy again, Sheriff J.W. Pepper. Bring him back.
I don't hate him. I mean, he's racist, so I don't like him. But I don't hate him as a character.
Oh God, I despise him.
I find it so funny that when he shows up again in The Man with the Golden Gun and he spots James Bond, who he was like, Live and Let Die caused him so much trouble, and he was so upset that they had to let him go because he was a spy. He sees him again and he goes, oh my God, it's you! Yeah. And he loves him.
But also with the continuity of James Bond, like, James Bond must have so many people like that, where people recognize him like, hey, you're that guy from that last adventure you're on. Like, I saw you before, because like you tell everyone who you are.
Yeah. Well, he calls his friends call him James Bond.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Matt.
Thank you for having me.
And until next week, take care.